Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tyra Omelade, your goddess guru. And I love helping people align with their life purpose so that they live confidently and courageously the amazing, wonderful, glorious lives that they know they deserve. That's you, okay? That's you. That's me. That's we. That's all of us. How are y'all doing out there? Hey, y'all, let me know if you're here. You know, I love, love, love my YouTube family. You all, yes, I adore you. Okay, let me just say it. I adore you too. So glad to be here this afternoon, this evening, to share with you all one of my favorite things to talk about, which is breath work. I also like talking about yoga too. I need to do it though, yeah. I need to do more yoga. I need to do more yoga in my life. But also, I want to bring on somebody who is one of my dearest besties of all the world. Yes, you're going to meet the amazing, wonderful Christa-Amasoul. She is my bestie. She is a priestess just like me. She also is one of my yogis. I could say yoga teachers. I'll say it that way. One of my yoga teachers. And she's just somebody in general I admire. And I wanted her to come and talk about breath work because breath work is becoming so huge. It's already been big though, y'all. Okay, for real. But as we begin to talk about going into this time of Gemini, where there's going to be this huge emphasis on Gemini, y'all better get down with all things Gemini. So you already know I talk about getting out walking, very good for the nervous system, but something that's very healing and something that brings mental clarity and it's actually a path to success is breath work. And so who better to teach breath work than someone who does breath work, a yogi. So I'm going to go on ahead and bring on for you all my dear friend Christa-Amasoul, how you doing, sister?
Hello, hello, sister. How are you?
Good. It's so good to see you. So
Oh,
gorgeous.
same here, same here. I'm a reflection of
Oh,
you. So happy to be here. I'm
thank you.
excited to meet your folks and talk a little bit about this breath work because it is, like you said, so key right now for us to take a deep breath
Take a deep breath.
and
You are
let it
so
all
right.
out. Yep.
And y'all hear a voice. Y'all hear a voice. I mean, it's like, oh, I just feel calm listening to Krista. Krista's one of my caretakers. When we're on the road doing stuff together, she knows sometimes I get a little busy. She's like, oh, wait a minute, did you eat? Did you drink your water? I think you need to lay down and, just rest for a while. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Even though she's my baby sister. So I want to ask you, how have you been doing during this time, just in general, so people can meet you? How have you been doing during this wild and crazy time that we've been in a
You know,
worldwide pandemic, social unrest, all that kind of good stuff?
all of the things as a friend of mine likes to say. Yeah, it's been like a while, like for everybody, and including those who are in the light workers and the healing practitioners, probably to a whole nother level because we are in this capacity to share healing modalities and
Yeah.
to share our intuitive gifts. And when this all started, it was the kind of just, you're not sure what's going on. And then
Hmm.
there's, they call it the 5 stages of grief, but it just becomes
That is so true.
it's its own stages of something because I find myself, initially kind of like, okay. And then, you start tapping into those tools, which is what breath work is, which is what yoga is, which is dance, all the tools and all the things to
Hmm.
try to cope.
Yeah.
But that doesn't come without you some days just wanting to pull the covers over your head and just be in, in the moment of, I don't know
Hmm.
what this is. And I've never,
Yes.
in our generation, I'll put it out there, if you're under 50, this really is something kind of new because
Yeah.
we have not had any real major domestic unrest
Yeah.
in America. So to have this completely, you know, up in the apple cart, I mean, yes, 9/11 was very powerful and tragic. But many of us were really removed from that because
That's
it
true.
was in New York. And yes, you may
Yeah.
have known somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody. But this is all coming very, very close to home for everybody. I mean, you
Mm.
really are. I was sharing this with someone. We really aren't going to. Um, Everyone's going to be touched in some way by all
Yeah.
of this, you
Yeah.
know. So for me, it's been about connecting with my spirit community. You know how dear that is to both of us,
Yeah.
and to have sisters like you who are always there. You know, in those moments where you're really
Yeah.
like having, you know, my high day, my low day, but I can share them even equally with that circle of love that I have. And I
Yeah.
know that not everyone's that fortunate. So
Yes, that is so true.
that's one of the reasons why I'm grateful for this opportunity to come and share with your community as a way to say, you know, we all have these opportunities to share these tools. And so this I know has been a gift that I've been given, and I do want to continue to share it with as many people as possible.
That is awesome. And you just really hit the nail on the head. Just we need to honor exactly where we are each day that, we find ourselves, no matter where we find ourselves, we just need to honor it.
Hmm.
I do, though, think, and I'm becoming more and more resolute. The more the year just keeps going, I'm becoming more and more resolute that this is an opportunity. It's just how I
Right.
see it. And though we honor where we are, this is
Hmm.
not a time to chill. This is a time to find out what is the universe speaking to me in my life? How am I supposed to be making these transformations and the transitions that I'm being called to make? And so, of course, breath work is something that our godmother, Ia Oshinike, she's been teaching this for years. It's a part of
Yeah.
all of our initiations. We're always told breath work. And so before we get into talking more about breath work and how transformational it is during times of unrest, even when times are good, breath work is good. Tell us, how did you get into being a yoga instructor, however you describe yourself? Tell us about that.
So, probably over 20 years ago now, I was sitting in church one day and I had a kind of moment like, if you're not ushering and you're not singing in the choir and you don't, you know, you're at a church that has a pretty active choir, you might get a little bit of movement in. But for the most part, you'll be in a place for, 2, 3 hours worshiping, but the
Mm-hmm.
worship is very cerebral, very in your head. You're listening.
Yeah.
Your contribution physically connecting with the divine wasn't really always there. And so it just kind of dawned on me one day sitting there, and I just said, And I got curious about what it could look like to be able to embody and engage the divine differently.
Mm.
But that was a very slow start. It was like, I took a yoga class here and a yoga class there, and didn't really like latch on. But I started doing the intellectual study of it. Like, okay, yoga, how does that pan out with everything? And then I moved a few times and became more open to the
Mm.
possibility of what yoga could be. And so now, fast forward until about 2016, having had one of your amazing readings, my whole life reading, which spoke to Kundalini yoga being something that was integral to my spiritual walk.
Mm-hmm.
I then um, encountered the right teachers at the right time with the
Nice.
right opportunity, and got trained and was able to, get certified in Kundalini. And I really, it was in that, and that also coincided with the spiritual aspirant initiation through the
Mm-hmm.
Institute of Whole Life Healing.
Yes,
And
that's
so
right. I forgot you were doing those at the same
they
time.
were at the exact same time. And so I remember through the initiation, we were probably about at the halfway point where the breath work was starting to really become, and the introduction of the Kirtan Kriya was coming and all these things. And I do remember getting that exercise and having just finished like a 40-day sadhana doing that Kriya. So it was just like learning that Kriya, learning that. And it all clicked. It just like that. And I was like,
Mm.
oh, okay. And so it has been a journey.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so, to where I am now, where I'm, teaching at a local studio and here in Atlanta, where I live,
Mhm.
it's called Sanskrit Moon.
Mhm.
And that gives me the opportunity to share the gifting. I also do corporate wellness for international company that I also work for. And so as a part of our wellness continuum here, that in this time that we were in, it was
Mhm.
integral that my employer have an opportunity for people to just be with themselves during the course of the day,
Oh,
and
that's nice.
I would do a once a week guided meditation to help them again, just breathe, take a moment,
Yes.
not looking, even though I'm on a screen, I wasn't on the screen. It was usually just some image. And then I'm just coaching them through breathing. And so I see myself as a guide.
Okay.
Yes, you're a yoga instructor, you're a yoga teacher, you're a meditation teacher, but I really, my real connection with it is I'm just a meditation guide, and I want to give people the opportunity and create the space, the safe space to just feel what they need to feel in their bodies for a moment, and then using that breath to help just navigate the experience of life in a way that's different than just the autonomic nervous system that your lungs are going to do their job. But now you can actually, engage that prana, not just the air, but the prana, which is the
What
life
is the prana?
force.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Prana is your life force. It's the life force of the inhale, and how you have that as a part of the connection to, again, you're connecting with all the elements. We do it every day, but it's just that conscious connection to the air, the conscious connection to the ether, the
Why is
conscious
it so
connection to prana.
important? What is it really? What does it do?
Well, when you think about just on the very basics of being a human on a planet like Earth, you are always, you need air. we can't do anything else. Even if the heart's beating strong, if the lungs aren't doing what they need to do, it's a whole system, right? But
Yeah.
the thing is why engaging consciously the prana
Mm,
is
okay.
that you have the opportunity now to use that as medicine, use that as
Mm,
fuel, use that
mm,
as healing.
mm.
Because the thing about it is, so many of us do live in cities and not around trees or things that nature that naturally we have that symbiotic relationship with, right? Because the trees absorb the thing that we can't breathe, they love it. And whereas when I say, okay, I am going to deeply inhale, I'm going to allow it, it cleanses. When you take a deep
Mm,
inhale, you're cleansing. If you're not having a cold or something, you're allowing all of your lymph, your just the feeling of your nasal passages. It just brings in that expansion, because the inhale
mm,
expands. And whereas you would think that the opposite of the exhale is to contract, it really is to lengthen.
mm,
So when you are inhaling, the real inhale that we should do, and I'm
mm,
very, I don't like that word, but should, but the real inhale that gets us going isn't so much the inhale that we do from the lungs. It's just, yes, we need that. But
yeah.
it's when you can get that breath all the way into your belly, like into your womb, into your
Mm,
pelvis,
mm,
for women
mm, mm,
particularly,
mm.
into that womb space. When you get that big inhale and expand the abdomen, because we've been, particularly, again, I'll speak to women because I know that might be of quite a few of us out there listening in. We want to be cute. I get it. I do. And we're taught, when you inhale and you let your gut come out, it's just not cute, but it
Yeah.
is life affirming. Let me be cute.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
when you get that inhale really deep
Okay.
into all those spaces,
Mm, mm,
that
mm.
womb area, that pelvis, when you can get that all the way to the yoni,
Wow.
when you can get that inhale down to the yoni, honey,
Well
please, yes,
dang.
thank you.
Well
Okay.
dang.
Yes, thank you.
Down to the yoni.
Get a,
Forget the breath,
get the
y'all.
inhale.
Forget the diaphragm. We're getting it down to the
All the
yoni.
you get everything expanded, and you just fill it up, and you just sit with that sensation. And it takes practice. You're not going to all necessarily be in your first, like, breath work session be getting all in there, but it's just that idea of the getting the breath fully into the body, because
Okay.
then that is what gives you it gives your cells the energy, the extra boost. It gives you, again, the ability to calm yourself, because that's the other biggest thing. So if I had to say, if you had to say, well, why is it important? It's important for three reasons. It's of course it's life giving.
Mm,
It can be life affirming,
mm,
and then it can be healing.
mm.
So you have these three reasons. So the life giving, we need to breathe to live. Life affirming, when you can get it into those spaces, then you're able to really get clear about some
Yes.
things,
Yes.
mentally, because we talk about brain fog and those kinds of things. So there's certain breaths and pranayamas that you can do that truly will clear your mind. And
Mm.
then the healing. When we inhale and exhale and do the breath work, you're able to calm your parasympathetic nervous system. Our nervous system, too often for many of us, is running at the fight or flight level because of what's just going on in life, not to mention what goes on outside your own house. So
Mm-mm-mm.
you really do need to have these opportunities to just sit with yourself. And the beauty of breath work, separate from meditation, because prior to getting on, I was really thinking about this because I figured it might come up. Well, what's the difference between breath work and meditation? Well, the way I've come to it, and in coming to it, was that breath work is something you can do without having to necessarily, do some of those what traditional meditation elements, right? So the calm the mind, quiet the space, all those things that we come to, the trappings around what we think meditation is. But if I tell you just to breathe and sit and practice some breaths, you can be doing that with your kids over there, your partner
Mhm.
over there, your dog back there. And all you're doing is taking that moment, that minute, because I'm going to show you in a moment how to do what's called a minute breath. Now,
Okay.
it's one that you work up to, but it is one that if you just that 1 minute, you
Mm,
really are tuned into that 1 minute. I think it
mhm.
would, you know, bring a new dimension to what breath work and breathing and then got leading you to whatever the next thing might be, which may be meditation.
Mhm.
But so I feel like that healing of our nervous system, because it's all, for many of us, and again, I'll speak to the woman experience, so much of our lives is a go, go, go.
Yeah. Oh.
Particularly if you're a mom, if you're working outside the home, and now you're working inside the home and inside
Mm.
the home. So when I think about the populations right now of women who part of their staying balanced, actually, and part of their wellness practice was actually going to work outside of the house.
Oh, that is so true. I didn't even think about
And
that.
it all now is in one spot. And the fact that it doesn't stop.
Girl.
And so, to have that, because I know there are a lot of self-care and wellness consultants and providers and things and experts who encourage you, find your goddess space, find your woman cave, find your place, right? Your physical place that, again, I'm all a fan for it. I have several options in my own home of what those spaces can be and feel like when I need a certain, feeling. But I know it's not always possible.
Yeah.
But the one thing that is possible
Yes.
is that I can be standing there, right there in the midst of all of life, and I can take a long, deep breath all the way in, all the way through. I
All
can
right.
spin the breath and feel that sensation that's just mine. And then I can exhale it out with all of the things that
Look,
I
I'm
need to
sitting here
let
doing
go
it now
of.
as you're talking. I'm like, oh, I feel so much better.
So that long, deep breath is just a very simple meditative practice, but it's breath work. It's the breath work that allows you to just, wherever you are, sitting
Mm-hmm.
in your car,
Yes.
standing in the line at the grocery store, in the midst of life, you can stop quite
Mm.
literally where you are. And you don't have to go to a studio, you don't have to put out a mat, you just stop and you take that long, deep inhale through the nose, let it go all the way to your toes if you can get it there. I'm just saying, take it in as deep. And it's the savoring of the space between the inhale and the exhale
Oh my God.
is where the magic really happens.
My goodness. Say that one more
So
time. That was the
it's
savoring
the
of the space.
savoring of the space between the inhale and the exhale is where the magic happens.
Is that in your app? Yeah, she has an app too. You need to make sure you write that down, okay? If you hadn't already written that down, that right there is life,
But
okay?
that's it. That's it. So,
Look over to the right. You'll see it says comments because people are commenting.
all right. So in this area here, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
and you can click there and you'll see people have comments or whatever.
Okay.
Hello,
Oh,
everybody.
hello, hello. All right.
Yes. So, do you have your something is on? I'm getting feedback. Did you?
Oh, I didn't. Did I do something?
You might have two windows open. Is what it sounds. No.
No, I don't. But I'll close everything and I'll turn everything off here.
Hey. Okay. So, I don't know why I hear. Do you hear echo? It might just be me.
I don't.
Okay.
But does anyone else in your?
We'll see. They'll let me know
Okay.
because they're
All
a
right.
little bit behind me. So,
Okay.
this is what I want to say. Two things that's coming to my mind as I listen to you. Number one, within the Institute, we talk about know thyself, cleanse and purify, and living in alignment with absolute truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as you talk about what the breath can do, this cleansing and this purifying, it sounds like it is an excellent tool for doing that because, what I find is my whole thing right now is cleanse and purify because, I've just had this whole focus on what are our limiting beliefs and how much they're driving us and our memories. I've been just really getting deep into Ho'oponopono.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're doing is cleansing and clearing the memories. And it just sounds like breath work is an excellent tool because when you talked about clarity, so many people are like, I don't know what to do. And I think, breathe. And sometimes it just seems too simple.
Right.
And it's so I really love that part of it. And so what do you think about that? Because I actually forgot my other thought, getting all lost into that.
So when you talk about cleanse and purify, there's one of the core breaths of the Kundalini practice is the breath of fire. And that is exactly what it's meant to do. It is meant to ignite that navel point, navel center area. That's just between like your belly button and your pelvic bone. And in that area, of course, in the chakra practices as well, that's that space of creativity, of reproduction, and when you have that space activated,
Mm,
where all of the nerve endings come into and go out from into the body. When you have that space activated on a regular and aligned, because that
mm,
pulse can kind of get weak, it can kind of wander. And so when you do that with something like breath of fire, which is a very kind of short, almost like dog panting breath, but you're doing it
mm,
all through the nose and,
mhm,
and engaging that navel center point, you're able to, again, pivot your life.
mm,
Your breath helps you pivot because you've engaged your creativity, you've gotten your solid foundation and found solid start in a day because you've connected with your breath and you've allowed your breath to ignite you, to
mm,
inspire you. Because I mean, we think about it that when you look at with cleanse and purify, oftentimes, you know, when we have those, the one thing you want to do when you have a cold, you just want to breathe deeply, you know, and
Yeah.
you have a nose cold, you're, you know, head cold, you're just all stuffy, and you're just that day that you can do it. What do you do? I mean, you do it probably unconsciously, but I know it would be, it's that same kind of idea. Like you've been walking around, we're all stuffy. We're all like, you know, life has happened, all these memories, all these
Mm,
experiences, all these happenings
mm,
around us. And we just need to take that clearing breath. We need to just
mm.
open it up and say, you know what, I'm going to try this differently today. So I'll pause right there because one of the breaths that also helps you balance with the in this more is more living in alignment with your absolute truth. But
Okay.
I'll jump ahead a little bit.
That's fine.
Is one of my favorites, and that's the alternate nostril breathing.
That's my go-to. I
And
love
so
alternate
that one
nostril
is the
breathing.
one that helps you stay balanced, because but it's done. It's like they come in packages, but you can do them separately. So
Yeah.
alternate nostril breathing, you can do one side to the other and do it all in one thing. But if on a particular day or a particular activity, you need more energy, then you're just going to be breathing in through the right nostril. You close off the left, inhale and exhale through the right in a very
Mm-hmm.
long,
Mm-hmm.
deep breath. If you need to calm down and chill, like for real, it's really gotten like that, then you're going to need to just close off the right nostril, inhale and exhale through that left nostril for a while. And when
Okay.
you're ready for them to be balanced fully and completely, then that's where the alternating happens as a way to make both hemispheres of the brain talk together and get calm together, and balance each other, in terms of that. And
Is
so,
there a certain amount of time for, let's say, alternate nostril breathing, or like what do you
well,
say about
it,
time?
for me, time is the time that you have. There are certain Kriyas in the Kundalini tradition. I can speak to that more than I can to others, but that do things typically like 3, 7, 11, 22, 30,
Gotcha.
and then more.
Okay.
But if you're just beginning, I'm all about just do what feels good for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No need in, you know, pressing yourself, because that this breath work is not, again, meant to just be something you have to do. It's meant to be
Yes.
something that's a tool that you can use when you really need it or when you really
Yeah.
want to practice and have that feeling. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I have done some Kriyas, and at the end, you know, you're like, I'm feeling like I have, you know, had all the vitamins or I've had all the sun. It's just like because
Yes.
you're internally focusing this life-giving prana. So again, it's it's air when it's out here. It's prana when it comes in and becomes a
Okay.
part of your life force,
That's
and
a
that
mind shift.
connection.
That's a mind shift that we may need to really embody and embrace. Instead of saying breath work or just thinking about air, we're thinking about prana.
Yeah.
And this
The
is, go
the
ahead,
Sanskrit, the terminology used in the yoga world is pranayama, which is that
pranayama.
you're practicing with your breath. You're managing or controlling your breath. You're working with your breath. So pranayama, um,
Pranayama.
and
Okay.
so that is a very true statement to really kind of shift your mind around. It's just not me breathing, but I don't want to overcomplicate it. So I will just say, like you've been saying, just breathe. You know,
Mhm.
to speak of it in terms of, and I don't know if we're going there, but you know, a lot of us have been witnessing all that has happened, and you know that trauma
Mm,
lives in all of us,
mm,
and so part of this breath
mm,
work that
mm,
a lot of people are now engaging in, and I'm very excited to see, you know, people of color being a part of this practice, is
mhm.
it's meant to help us release that trauma from our
Ashe.
bodies.
Ashe.
So that breath work is not just a trivial element or just a thing that automatically happens, because we know it's not trivial regardless, but just automatic thing that happens. It's now another way that we can engage with the divine, but also be able to unlock places in ourselves that are even our conscious and
Mhm,
subconscious
mhm,
minds
mhm.
are not ready to deal with. When you have that breath work really engaged, when you really have the opportunity to just allow yourself again to inhale deeply and exhale with intention, you are giving the cells in your body an opportunity to relax and to let go of the things that have kept you agitated or aggravated up until that moment. And it might just let go for that moment. But imagine if you continue to build one intentional breath to another,
Sure.
and what can happen in your own space of your body first, and then begin that ripple effect to the other places in your life. So that's one of the things that I feel very deeply about in this season that we're in, that this breath work will allow us the opportunity, alongside the other ways in which we are engaging in, making these opportunities for the next iteration of what this world is going to look like.
Yeah.
It starts with our breath.
Sure. Wow. Wow. I'm going to say the word Ori if I forget because I remember, but I want to look at some of the comments. We've gotten several.
Oh, okay.
Lee is on and said, it's funny you mentioned 9/11. I was enlightened with a vision before 9/11 happened. When this new wave happened, I had to quit my job and now moving into the new age, this new life change hope. So,
Wow, that's
yeah.
powerful.
I see you all out there. Hello. I'm so glad y'all are here. Our girl Azizi is on.
All right. And
She
she's
said,
asking about people with high blood pressure. So, Azizi, not a medical practitioner. My doctorate is in library science. So, what I would say is encourage people to check with their physicians, their healers, their medicine providers, and see what the options are. I know that meditation is often something that is referred to people who have, high stress and things of that nature. So maybe not doing very aggressive breath work if you have any of those conditions.
yeah,
But the long, deep breath, I have not yet, in my experience, and again, not a medical provider, but that one is a very calming,
yeah,
very soothing, and that's usually where I keep people until I'm clear in my practice with teaching that they can do some of the more agitated ones like breath of fire and things like that.
yeah,
So
definitely the breath of fire. I would see, especially for someone who hasn't done breath work in the
yeah,
past, I could see how that could be a problem. But long, deep breathing,
yeah,
y'all with hypertension better get on that one. I'm not a medical professional either, but I'm just gonna say it. She a yoga instructor, so she has to be way more formal. Not me. I can say whatever I want.
yeah.
So let's see here. Is it common for shallow breathers to experience dizziness during breath work?
I would say yes, because part of it is also just doing it slow. I'm a fan of starting simple and starting slowly. So yes, and to your point, Monica, most of us are shallow breathers because we are actually taught to breathe kind of in reverse, if you will. So the breath we're taught and naturally kind of comes to us is that chest breath. Okay, so we're inhaling, exhaling, you see the breath, the chest moving, and that kind of thing. And that long, deep breath that I was speaking about earlier is actually going deep into the gut and then coming out through the lungs. So you're engaging all those parts of the torso, you're engaging that space in the abdomen, you're engaging your lungs, your diaphragm, so your clavicle even, if you really are doing that full on breath, even like your clavicle shifts a little bit and your throat opens. So most of us are shallow breathers. Even those of us who do, breath work with any regularity, life happens and you're going to be back to kind of that automatic.
Yes.
All right.
Cindy asked about the inhale. She's asking, is the inhale and exhale through the mouth, then the clearing is through the nose? She just wants to clarify.
So I think you might be referencing the alternate nostril breathing.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay, so if that is the case, it is you're inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils. So if I'm here, And then I exhale. The mouth is still closed, and you'll be doing it through the nostrils. One of the things also that is helpful is, it feels good to sigh. There are certain breaths that are through the mouth in the pranayama practice, where your mouth is shaped a certain way, like an O. You inhale,
That's
you
one of my
suspend
favorite.
the
Do you roll
breath.
the tongue,
If
Krista, or
you
does it
can,
matter?
I can't. I don't have that gene.
Can y'all do that? After,
So there are certain people who can do that. I cannot. And so in those cases, you can kind of put your tongue out a little bit over your lip and bring it in that way. It kind of gives a little dip to it. But that's a very cooling breath when you do that kind of breath through your mouth. So,
cooling
it's
means calming, or what is
right.
cooling?
But
Okay.
in that case, that is a calming, cooling breath to, just to get the system kind of just literally cool down.
Okay.
And so definitely there are some that are with your mouth, but that alternate nostril breathing is all through your nostrils.
Okay. And going back to something that you said, and y'all, thank y'all for those wonderful questions. I love those
Mm-hmm.
questions. And thank you, Christa-Amasoul, for answering those. But something that you were saying earlier that I was thinking about when you talked about when you breathe and it brings that clarity.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things one of the things that I know is people are constantly seeking to connect with their Ori, infinite intelligence, this divine consciousness. And what I have learned is that when we take those long, slow, deep breaths,
Mm-hmm.
it allows us to connect with getting that parasympathetic nervous system engaged, calm, all that kind of good stuff. It allows us to connect with infinite intelligence. This is one of the reasons that I think, and you can tell me if I'm, what you think about this, is so important, because when we're living in shallow breathing,
Mm-hmm.
then that's how we're so connected to what's without in the holographic projection,
Mm-hmm.
and we're living according to our egos.
Mm-hmm.
But when we allow ourselves, and we make the choice to do this long, slow, deep breath, connecting with infinite intelligence, to a certain degree, for me, what it does is just brings me so present in the moment. I
Mm-hmm.
feel so alive and so rich and so abundant,
Mm-hmm.
just so edified and satisfied, content in my spirit.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
puts me in that position to hear. If I'm like wondering, what do I do? I literally don't know what to do. It puts me in the position, and all of a sudden, I hear exactly what it is that I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things that I think. What are your thoughts?
I think you're right on. You're quite spot on with that, because when I think about how, again, so many of us are shallow breathers. It just is. And it is when you have that moment to just be, and you allow your body to relax. And, many of us, I I don't know. I know I'm a sigher, so
I'm a sire.
sometimes I unconsciously sigh, and I remember friends be like, "Well, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "You just sighed," and I'm like,
Craig says the
"Oh,
same thing to me. He's like, "What's wrong with you?"
I don't recall doing that." But that's your body's way of saying, give me more oxygen,
That's
give
so
me
good.
more, give me a little bit more opportunity to just let go. And it's kind of those nudges that we get sometimes. And so I do believe that connecting with the RE, and I see, Azizi's commenting as well, just allows you that opportunity to sit quietly. And again, there's no formal structure needed to it, because it can happen. What I think naturally occurs then is that you'll yearn for that opportunity again. You'll want to feel that level. You'll want to feel that alignment. You'll want to feel that connection to the divine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to say to all the fam out there, y'all, come on. We talk about what we do and don't have in terms of resources. This is a resource that we were blessed with. It is literally what it's our currency of life. pranayama, breath work, air, having, this oxygen. It is literally our currency for being here, because once that breath leaves out of your body, right? This is what separates us from those who have gone back into the realm of the ancestors.
Okay.
And so when we are down on our luck, when we are feeling confused in life, when we don't know what to do, when we feel like I don't have a money for a reading, what do? You come back and watch this free YouTube video. Listen to Priestess Christa-Amasoul. Do that breath work. She's already shown us several. She's actually going to take us through one today too. But this is our currency. Our spiritual currency is our breath work. And some people say, oh, people pay money to go have somebody teach you how to breathe. Well, guess what? We need it, because we're not breathing to the point we have to sigh. So tell us, what do you have for us today? Let's do some
All
breath
right.
work.
So let's do some breath work. We're going to go through a series here.
I'm going to
And
highlight you.
it's I consider it kind of my beginner series as it relates to when people ask, well, how do I get started? So if you haven't already, find a comfortable seat. If you are seated on the floor, just making sure that the sits bones are there. If you're in a chair, just making sure that the spine is upright and that you are feet firmly planted on the earth. And if you're, really blessed to be outside right now, just connecting with nature, that's an extra bonus. So with that, we're just going to come into, if you're safe in a place where you can close your eyes, just go ahead and bring your eyes to closure, just a gentle, and begin to look inward. We're just going to take a deep inhale through the nose. Take it in as deeply as is comfortable for you. So just very slowly, very gently inhale. If you can get it all the way into the belly, let the belly paunch out. It's fine. Nobody's watching. And then on your exhale, you are going to bring that belly button to spine as if you are collapsing a plastic bag and just bringing all the air out the top. And I do want you now to just come in at your own pace here with this breath, taking that deep inhale, noticing that prana coming down the back of the throat, flowing through the chest, the lungs, expanding the diaphragm, going into your belly. And even if you can get it down into the pelvic floor, just that deep inhale, and then observing the flow of that prana back out of the body, bringing the belly button to spine, but very gently, very slowly. There's no rush here. Even though I'm talking in a certain cadence, your breath may work in a slightly different one, a little slower. And now, as you begin to tune in, observing your breath, observing the flow and the rhythm, as you're taking in that deep inhale, as if you're just sipping the most luxurious air that ever was, bringing it into the life-giving prana that it is. And when you exhale, release and let go of the tightness in your chest, in your throat. Again, we're doing everything here through the nose, just inhaling gently and sweetly, and exhaling all the way out. Now, on your next inhale, take it in very gently, very sweetly, and I want you to just suspend it, not hold it tightly, just suspend, let it rest wherever it lands in your body, if it's at the chest level, if it's in the belly, and just savor that space between the inhale, and when you're ready, let it go with the exhale. We'll do that again. You're just going to deep, slow inhale through the nose. wherever that breath lands on that inhale, suspend it. Allow yourself to engage with the sensation of savoring the space between your inhale, and when you're ready, let go with your exhale. And now allowing your inhale and your exhale to come into just your regularly scheduled programming. So allowing it to come into a deeper cadence, hopefully. Observe if it's a little deeper than when we started. Now that long, deep breath is one that you can do anytime, anywhere, eyes open or closed. It's a great one for helping us get calm and get clear. Now this next one I'm going to talk you through, and it's called a box breath. It's a 4-count breath with inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, exhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts. Again, the idea here is that you're engaging with your breath, observing how it feels. I'll take care of the counting. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it all the way out. And we'll begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. Allow yourself to let your breath return to its regular cadence. Observe any sensations now, anywhere in the body. Allowing the breath on your inhale to expand you, and on your exhale to release. We'll take another deep inhale together. And this time we will just sigh it all the way out. Whatever sound you like to make. We'll do that one more time. Take a deep inhale. And And exhale. Bring your hands to heart center. Rub them together as if you are to warm them. Place one hand atop the other across your chest. And knowing that you can come back to this practice anytime you need to. Connecting with the life-giving prana, your breath work, your breath, your connection to the divine. I give thanks to all the teachers, and I give thanks to Priestess Tyra Malade for allowing me to share this gift. Namaste, Satnam, Ashe.
Namaste. Satnam. Ashe. Whew, girl, I feel so much better. Wow. Did y'all like that out there? I know you did. I know you did.
I hope so.
No, trust me. That was amazing. That was amazing. So I put on here on the ticker tape, sanskritmoon.com.
Oh, awesome.
Are you still doing your Sunday class virtually?
9:30 Sunday morning
Eastern time?
on Zoom. 9:30 Eastern
I'm
time
paying my $30
on
monthly
Zoom.
membership. I'm coming back. I got a little bit caught up with learning how to be an online business owner. I'm like, okay, I gotta go back. So I'll see you in the morning. So y'all can see down there. Yeah, they liked it. Oh, Aquarian T is in tears. Is that normal?
Oh, it's all
She
good.
got touched.
It's all good.
Yes,
It's
it's
all
all
good.
good. It's all good. Y'all
Because
beautiful. Hey
those
y'all.
tears are cleansing too.
Hmm.
The breath unlocks some things. Yeah, it does.
Nice, nice. And
Absolutely.
y'all can see how simple that was, how easy. It didn't even take that long. We can do that every day, y'all. Come on. So y'all can see down here at the bottom. And I'll make sure once I leave out, I'll go into the description box and put this in there. SanskritMoon.com. You can pay a drop-in rate of $10, but you can pay $30 for the entire month and get all the classes that they have online. I don't know the whole schedule, it's there, but every class they do online to include Priestess Christa-Amasoul, which is 9:30 Eastern time, Sunday morning.
And
Come
we've
get y'all
added
some.
and we've added one on Wednesday evening. So I actually do one 7:30 on Wednesdays now. 7:30
What?
Eastern time. Yep, on Wednesday
Okay.
night. So
All righty. All righty. So we got two options.
yep.
Two options. Yes, they enjoyed that. They enjoyed that. So I'm getting ready to show y'all a different ticker tape. Thank you so much for that. This is why I brought you on, because I know the power of breath work. I also know the power of breath work with you. Ain't nothing like being in meditation with that kind of voice. And you just, one of the things, and then we're going to talk about nurture, but one of the things that has become so apparent and important to me is I think that everyone brings their healing. There's something about afros bringing healing to the world. Now, it doesn't matter who's showing up for the afros healing, but I
Hmm.
can assure you, when a Black person is doing this breath work, just the way you've talked about, you know, understanding the time and how how this breath work can help us. We get traumatized every time we see an African American killed so, cold and callously, needlessly. It's just a reliving of the trauma. It's something that people can't understand. Even Black people and other, like I was on a call with one. It's actually to learn how to do Instagram. This person who is a white male was like, I'm going to create it where we having BIPOC meetings only. If you ain't a person of color, if you're not Black, don't show up to this meeting. It's only for them.
Wow.
And so a lady was on there from Trinidad, I think. She was like, I don't even understand what's going on, even though we do have that something like that, prejudice down here is
Hmm.
different from what y'all experiencing up there, Black
Hmm.
people. So it's something that we actually, it's unique to our culture, Black people in the United States. And to hear Black people be able to speak to how we can use breath work to release that trauma, because that's what a lot of us are caught up in right now. Just dealing with this huge trauma that created this outburst. And now we're dealing with everybody else's stuff too. We're just feeling it to say, for in, hold, for out, hold. This is going to help heal you. This is going to help, you know, release and clear all of that trauma. And not only that, it's going to help to elevate you. It's something special. For me, I might be the only one out there that's like that. But for me,
No,
it's,
it's a growing, I think there are more of us who you don't know you need it until you do. It's one of those details.
and for you
Yeah.
to be able to speak to it in such a powerful way, thank you so much. And part of the breath work piece is all about nurturance. Am I right or wrong?
It is. It is. It's the cheapest way to nurture yourself every day.
Moment by
No,
moment.
no need for a spa or anything like that. You can just do it. So I encourage you again, if you consider that you may have some contraindication or health challenge that would prevent you from doing more aggressive breath work, that long deep breath,
Yeah.
just sitting with your breath and observing it, allowing yourself to just come into a communication with your own rhythm of breath. You might identify, oh, that is pretty shallow. Okay, well, can I go a little deeper with that one? Or, so just
Mhm.
play, it's also something that, we take it, it's not to be taken so seriously, even though, everything kind of starts getting structured around this. But you got to think about it. Kids play with their breath all the time. What's one of the things that you did as a kid when it was really cold? You went and fogged up a cold window because you wanted to write in it. Kids are always yelling because the other element, of course, to breath is that then you add words to it, and then words are doing all that they do,
As
right?
in the mantra.
Yeah. So you add words to it with
Oh,
mantra, but
you have
even
to
just
come
our
back and do
regular
some
language.
mantras with us. You
Oh
have
yeah,
to do
most
that.
definitely, most definitely. But it's those things, right? Babies play with their breath, their breathing. They're always figuring out. They're always, feeling through their whole body, and that's the other piece of it. Your breath is your kind of real natural tool for embodiment when we
Mm,
talk about embodying the divine, because again, it takes you out your head.
mm,
You're in your breath is in your body. It's
mm,
not
mm,
your brain doesn't breathe. It needs
mm.
the breath
Girl,
to.
you better say that. Your brain does not breathe, y'all. All right. But
It
if
truly
you
does.
want to get the brain working really,
You
really
gotta
well,
you
you
gotta have a
better.
you have a real connection with that divine breath. All
So,
day. Yes.
we're talking about nurturance.
Yes.
I want you to tell everybody, first of all, we already know we can connect with you through sanskritmoon.com, but you
Yes.
created an app,
I have.
and that app is called Nurture. Tell
Mhm.
us about this app because I think it is incredible.
Thank you. So, Nurture is by C Studios, my company, and it is an app for you to show yourself some love every day, just a few minutes a day. So, it's a virtual oracle deck of love notes that allow you little messages on a card. You can either choose one with serendipity, or you can go through and choose one based on they're based off of the chakras and all the activities of our chakras. So there's meditate, play, and pamper. And so
Mm.
the colors are there to give you an idea of which chakra they might align with. But there's also just a button on the front that says, pick the one today that you think I need to have, universe, and it will pop one up. And the messages can be anything from, someone mentioned drinking water, water you. So have you drunk your water today? It could be a
Mm.
gentle, loving reminder that, sometimes people put them in their phones and whatnot, or it could be something like, play you. So go out and choose something that you enjoy doing, a play like an adult. As adults, we often, and particularly in this time, we don't probably feel like we can play that much, but go out and get into nature and do some things that make your whole body, and soul and mind feel good. So Nurture was a dream that came true here in this last year. And you've been with me on the journey, and it has been an amazing, remarkable option. It's available through the Google Play Store,
Okay.
and it's Android right now, but we're getting, things together for it to be for all my iPhone folks out there. But it is available Google Play Store for the Android at the moment. So check it out. There's a free trial, and then if you want the whole deck, you can just purchase it right there in the app. And so I'm excited about it as a way to just again share it. It came about out of me wanting to show myself some love, and that's the
Mm.
beauty of us being able to share our giftings and the gifts that are given to us is that once I kind of had, all of these little notes that I was making to myself, I said, oh, I can share them with my friends. And so then I would send them as emails. And then I was like,
I
oh, I can
remember getting those emails.
share them on Facebook. And so, every
I
week I
remember
was
seeing you
putting
on
out a note.
Facebook.
So then it just kept growing and growing. And now the app is there for you to have right on your phone to, again, just show yourself some love once a day, twice a day, whenever you need it. You just click on it and go.
And it's so interesting because right now we're still actually in Cancerian season. The sun is in Cancer, Mercury is in Cancer, and it's just a good reminder every time we're in Cancer season to um, indulge in self-care. I'm initiated in Tia Manja, and one of her charges to me has been to talk about, and I think you were one of the first people I've heard say this, of self-care is an act of revolution.
Mm-hmm.
And the other day on um, this call that I was on for the BIPOC, those of us who are in this group,
Mm-hmm.
the lady said self-care is one of the best acts of resistance that we can engage in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can tell you, if you don't take care of yourself, it literally sends a message to the body. It sends a message to your mind. It sends a message to your soul, and the whole universe aligns with,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worthy of self-care. I'm not going to take care of myself well, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
then we're not where we need to be in our spirit in order to carry out our life mission, in order to align with our life purpose. So self-care is one of the best things that we can do. And I believe in investing in ourselves. I have found that when I do this little cheap thing, that don't work.
Right.
It don't work. It's no, I'm going to spend some money. I'm going to put some money on this thing. Or the other thing is, I'm going to invest some time, just like we're talking about with this breath work.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have any money, you can, in fact, invest time through breath work all day long. Breathe. And then those of y'all who've been working with me with the Ho'oponopono, look at what Aquarian T says, so you can answer that
Yes,
question.
it's a nurture. I actually put the link in the private chat, Tyra. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, okay.
I'm on my laptop, so I'm not actually on my phone. But if you follow that link, you'll be able to see. Yes, it's a gold, and nurture is the emblem. And yes, tap here to show yourself some love. That's it. That's
Okay. I
it.
just put it in the comments for y'all. Y'all are so wonderful.
Thank you. That's
They
awesome.
have really enjoyed you.
And it's been my honor. Thank you so much
Oh,
for the
awesome. So
opportunity.
yeah, y'all go nurture yourself with that app. And then y'all don't even worry about it. I'm gonna work on her, see if we can get her to come back like once a month or something like that. do some breath work, pranayama, whatever. Talk to us, grace us with her presence, y'all. This is Christa-Amasoul. Y'all give it up for Christa-Amasoul. Thank you, my sister.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
we've been friends for
Oh, wow.
12 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
2008. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Almost 13 years at this point. So thank you, my sister. I
no,
I
thank you.
appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, and I will see you in the morning.
All
I ain't
right.
playing. As soon as I get off of this, I'm getting ready to go pay my $30. I'm coming back.
All right. Love you all. Take care.
Thank you all so much, and everybody out there, I want you to let me know, what are you going to do to love on yourself? How are you going to be doing things? What, tell me specifically, what are you going to do? Which breathwork activity or exercise are you committing to each day? And I want you to let me know as I come back here, whatever, post it here in the comments. I want to hear from you. Tell me how you're going to take care of yourself. Which breath work exercise do you most want to do? Y'all, come on, let's connect with the great divine, within, without, everywhere, all that kind of good stuff through breath work. We appreciate you all. Thank you. You
Thank
just
you.
don't hit leave studio yet, Christa-Amasoul. Hold on one
Gotcha.
second.
I'm
But
here.
everybody else, we love y'all. Take care. And remember, I want you to always remember this. May the oracle be your guiding light. I'll see y'all next Saturday. All right. Peace.
Bye.